Hi there, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to our channel. Now in this video, I'm going to showcase how you can onboard Windows client devices to Microsoft Defender for Endpoint. And this will be the fifth video of this new playlist. Okay, so if you have not seen previous videos, please go ahead and watch them first because there are many concepts which I've already covered and I'm just going to use them as a reference point. Now, since this is the first video of this particular playlist wherein I'm going to talk about onboarding, so we'll show you the method how you can onboard client devices using local script. Then depending upon the network connectivity method that you have selected, it can be standard URL, it can be streamlined URL. There are some changes in the script itself, which I will be showing as well. Now, fundamentally speaking, this is the older method of standard connectivity, wherein you can see this is the huge list of different URLs which you have to whitelist. However, when it comes to streamlined connectivity, now there are very limited set of URLs that you have to onboard or you have to whitelist so that your machine gets onboarded to MDE. Then we'll talk about the processes which are involved, what are the supported operating system, and how to verify onboarding of a device. From prerequisite standpoint, you should have a valid license. In my tenant, I have MDEP2. From network URL whitelisting standpoint, choose any of the methods that I've already shown. And lastly, you have to make sure that Microsoft Defender for Endpoint AV service should be in running state. So think about this as one of the prereq because this is the article that I'm showing you right now, which is moreover related to troubleshoot the onboarding of Windows machine. And you can see there are two different statements which are mentioned over here, but as of now, you should just focus on this, which says Microsoft Defender AV should not be disabled by any policy. Now, fundamentally speaking, Microsoft Defender AV has three states: disabled, enabled, and passive, or disabled, active, or passive. What is this passive mode? We'll talk about this in a lot more detail, but as of now, for onboarding, just make sure Microsoft Defender AV service is running on the machine. And obviously, I will show you how you can go ahead and check that. Okay. Now, again, the set of operating system which are supported with this method at least is Windows 10 and Windows 11. Windows 10 version 1803 or later, or if there is any older version, then you have to make sure this KB is installed. Now, these are the different set of processes which are related to different components. So for example, these are the processes which will be used by EDR component. These are the processes which will be used by AV component. And lastly, since once a machine is onboarded to security.microsoft.com, it is also available on Purview portal. And that's why you get this list of endpoint DLP processes. Okay, so now let's go ahead and sign in to security.microsoft.com and download the packages which are required for onboarding a machine. Okay, so as of now, I'm signed into security.microsoft.com and then I will scroll down to the bottom, let the portal load. Yeah, and now I'm going to click on system and then I'm going to click on settings, and from here I have to click on this option which is endpoints. Okay, now I will scroll down and I will click on onboarding, and you can see there are now different set of options which are available. Okay, so there will be a dedicated video for this particular tool as well. But as of now, I'll just click on this particular option which says select an operating system to start deployment. And then I'm going to select Windows 10 and 11. Now for this particular video, I'm going to use streamlined connectivity as well as the machine is Windows 11. Okay, so fundamentally you can click on standard and then download the onboarding package, and you can also click on streamlined. Let me close this, and you can also click on streamlined and then you can download the onboarding package. So two different packages will be installed. Now let me just copy these packages to the machine where we will be performing onboarding and show you the difference in the script itself. Okay, so this is my machine where I have copied both the packages, and this is the one which is there with standard URL. So this script is for standard URL and this script is for the streamlined connectivity. So fundamentally, whenever you will download a package, it will be a compressed folder. You have to unzip them. And then what I have done in this Notepad++, this first section that you see over here is a standard script. And the second section that you see over here is this one. So wherever you see gateway, this is more over related to streamlined connectivity. Okay. Now starting from top, you can go ahead, read this particular script. It checks couple of details, whether you are running this script with admin privilege or not. And then as you can see, it goes ahead and check about this particular registry as well. I will show you this in a lot more detail. Don't worry about it. And that's the reason if you see this particular section, which is Microsoft Windows Defender ATP, these are all the references which are already available in that registry prereq which I was showing. Okay, so I'll scroll down and I'll go to that particular section of onboarding information so that I can show you the actual difference in terms of URLs. Okay, so since this was the one which is related to standard URL, you can see it is using the older URL, which is winatp-gw-cus-microsoft.com. But here, if you see, it is choosing the new one, which is endpoint.security.microsoft.com. So this is a very small change wherein the URLs are getting referenced in the script itself, just to make sure the onboarding is working as expected. Now, there was one requirement. In fact, it is still the same, and that's moreover related to the requirement of ELAM driver. Okay, so you can see this is also one specific thing which is in check whether your machine is having Microsoft ELAM driver installed or not, and it is still the same. So the script still reference, and it doesn't matter which script I choose. So let me click here now and do ELAM, and you can see it's still referencing this particular driver to make sure it is present and the onboarding part can get initiated. Okay, now the very first thing that I will do is I will open registry editor and I will go to a specific location, which is HKLM software Microsoft, and here I will go to this particular section of Windows Defender ATP. Okay, let me increase the size, and here you see. Now observe this space closely, because this is the section where multiple entries or new entries will come once the onboarding part is completed. And that's the reason why in the registry path you see this location. This is where all the new changes when it comes to onboarding, they get added, right? This is moreover related to the controls which are available for AV. Now, if you have any other AV installed on your machine currently, or this is what typically has been seen, that all the other vendors, they force these two registries to be disabled. Okay, and this is where you have to make sure that these two registries should always have value 0 before you go ahead with the onboarding. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll come to my command prompt, and this is the host name of my machine. Let me zoom in. Okay, now to verify whether Windows Defender AV service is running on the machine or not, you can just type SC query windefend, and as you can see, this service is as of now in running state. Now if I do SC query since, this is stopped because the machine is not onboarded. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and initiate the script with admin access so that the onboarding can be completed, and then we'll check all the other details which are moreover related to events and everything. Okay, so now here I'll go, and let me just first of all stop the sound of this VM. Okay, so now here I'll go to my respective location where I have kept the onboarding script, and which is this particular folder, and make sure that you choose this particular folder if you are choosing streamlined connectivity, because this is where I have kept my onboarding script. I mean, gateway folder name will have streamlined connectivity. So now here I'll just go ahead and run my onboarding script. As you can see, this is the very first prompt that I'm getting, wherein it's asking me whether I have admin privileges or not, and that's it. The moment I'll type Y and I will press enter, the machine will start getting onboarded. Okay, in the meanwhile this onboarding is happening, let me also open event viewer and go to the respective section where it will show us the onboarding event. Okay, so yeah, it's still onboarding. I'll pause the video, it will take around a minute, and then once it is completed, we'll resume. Perfect, so it took around a minute, and now it's asking me press any key to continue, and that's it. The machine is now onboarded. Now step number 1, once this process is completed, go to registry editor and click on this option, and now you can see I'm getting all these different values over here. Okay, so this section that you see here as onboarded info, if you'll try to match this, it will map with this particular section of your script itself. Okay, where it has org ID and locations and whatnot. Now let's go ahead and check the actual onboarding event on event viewer itself. Okay, So here I have to search for, now let me start from scratch. Okay, so it's Microsoft Windows, and here I'm going to search for Sense, and these are all different operational events related to sensor service. Okay, and now since my machine is onboarded, everything is showing here as information. If there would have been any error, I will get them listed here itself. Okay, now if I go to my command prompt and do the same again, so you can see now the sense service is running. So this basically means the machine is now onboarded. Okay, however, if you'll go to the portal, you'll also get a method listed over here which can verify a detection test. Okay, so I'll copy this command and I'll go back to my machine and I will open PowerShell, or let me see if I can run it here itself. Okay, just paste it. Okay, I think it's not copied, so I'll copy this again and I'll come back here, and if this detection happens, perfect, the command prompt is closed, and that's what mentioned on the portal itself. So let me show you the portal again. If successful, the detection test will be marked as completed for a new alert in few minutes, and at the prompt copy this, the command prompt window will close automatically. So this means my detection is working as expected. Okay, now the last part that we have to verify is what was the method that was used by a specific client. Okay, so here in this particular section of advanced hunting, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and run this particular query, which is device info, where device name should contain the name of the device which we have just onboarded. And here I can just project connectivity type, and you will see it will show me streamlined because this was the method that we have used from the script. Okay, so just a quick summary. The very first thing is we have to verify whether SC query WinDefend is fundamentally running or not. Then open this registry part just to make sure all the values are getting populated. Once the machine is onboarded, go ahead and run SC query sense and verify with a detection which is available on the portal. Okay, so this was all about knowing how to onboard Windows client devices through local script. In the next video, we are going to talk about how to onboard devices through group policy object. So if you think that this channel is helping you to learn anything new, please feel free to subscribe and share this video with your technical community. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.